This is a Rogue Media Network podcast.
Do you ever have a story that you just can't get out of your head?
One that you play the details of over and over with your friends?
Well, you've come to the right place. I'm Claire.
And I'm Susan.
And this is Justice Pending,
a weekly true crime podcast where we discuss tantalizing crimes with more questions than answers.
Welcome back to Justice Pending. This is a special breaking news edition of our podcast because there has been an arrest in the 2011 cold case murder of Ashley Okland in Des Moines, Iowa. This just happened, and I wanted to bring you the news because I know that many of you have reached out to tell me about this development, and I wanted you to know that I was following it. Ashley, as you recall, was featured on Justice Pending last month in February, and now, unbelievably, there is an update in her case. They have made an arrest. The West Des Moines Police Department has arrested Kristin Ramsey, a 53-year-old woman, and charged her with first-degree murder. So I wanted to go ahead and bring you the press conference from the West Des Moines Police Department so that you could hear it from the police chief himself.
Yesterday, our unrelenting pursuit of justice for Ashley Okland reached a significant milestone. 15 years ago, Ashley's death sent shockwaves, not only throughout the central Iowa community, but throughout our entire state. Since her death on April 8, 2011, the search for answers has weighed heavily on family, friends, co-workers, and our central Iowa community. In addition, Ashley's story has haunted a very frightened community of professional realtors who have forever changed how they hold open houses and conduct business on a daily basis. Some of you, represented here today by the media, who have followed the case throughout the years or were at the homicide scene back in 2011, have shared that you too were affected by the details of Ashley's homicide on a personal level, more so than most cases that you've covered throughout the years. As for our investigative team, who has kept Ashley's case open these past 15 years, following up on thousands of leads from the public and reviewing countless items of evidence, materials collected throughout the investigations, Ashley's story has kept many of us awake at night, revisiting the details over and over in our minds, searching for that missing piece that would tie everything together and lead us down the right path to identifying a person that was responsible for this act. The drive and unwavering commitment by investigators to solve this case is always and has been justice for Ashley and her family. Yesterday, March 17th, 2026, West Des Moines police detectives arrested 53-year-old Kristin Ramsey without incident. She is currently being held at the Dallas County Jail. She has been indicted by the Dallas County Grand Jury for the offense of murder in the first degree. At this time, no other arrests are anticipated.
So you just heard from the West Des Moines Police Department about the arrest in the Ashley Okland case. So she was a real estate agent who was working at a model townhome back in 2011 whenever she was shot twice. And this case has just rocked the real estate community. It has rocked the central Iowa community, and it resulted in a unbelievable effort combining multiple agencies and actually the creation of the cold case unit in West Des Moines, Iowa. And this is a case where investigators really were working behind the scenes. In a lot of ways, the public did not know what was going on in this case, but authorities were working every possible lead. And they were given thousands of tips from the community, from people who saw something, who thought they saw something, who heard something, and they followed up on those leads. This is one of those cases that really baffled people because it seemed like Ashley didn't have any enemies. It didn't seem like robbery was the motive, right? Her purse was still there. So it was just really bizarre. And it's just a classic justice pending case where you have a victim who is taken totally without reason, without leads, and people have to really dig in and work every possible path to solve this case. And so one of the things that was really interesting that happened in this case is that the police department decided to, not only work with Crime Stoppers to put out a reward, that's pretty standard, but they also created this cold case card deck, right? Where they went and talked about every single cold case in the state got a piece of a playing card, right? So from ace all the way up to king, queen, every card, 52 cards in the deck had a different case details on it. And what they do with these decks of cards, police officers hand these out in jails, in prisons, on the streets to anyone who wants a deck of cards. I've been given some in other states. I have one from South Carolina of all the missing persons, unsolved cases in that state. And so this really generates leads. And it was a year ago that they put out this missing persons unsolved case card deck in Iowa. And whenever the attorney general got up on stage at this press conference, she actually credited this card deck with leading to this information that resulted in the arrest of Kristin Ramsey. So I think that's significant. Sometimes people don't realize how these other investigative efforts really pay off in the end, because people are playing with those cards. They're playing with them behind bars, and they have all the time in the world to think and talk. And a lot of times, information comes out over a game of cards that leads to someone making an official tip to authorities that allows them to investigate a new angle in this case. The authorities are being very tight-lipped about what kind of evidence they have against Kristin Ramsey. They have really stuck to the book on this and said, it was enough evidence when presented at the grand jury that she was indicted with a true bill for first-degree murder. And as you heard the police say, that this time no other arrests are anticipated. So it appears at this time they believe that Kristin Ramsey acted alone. I think the idea of a conspiracy, of a murder for hire, always comes into play with these long unsolved cases, these cold cases, because we think it has to be something really complicated for them to have gotten away with it, right? But it appears that authorities believe that Kristin Ramsey acted alone and that there won't be other arrests in this case, according to investigators. They did not take questions at the press conference. They didn't allow any of the assembled media to ask questions, but I think it's really admirable that they held this press conference just one day after the arrest and laid out as much information as they did. They don't have to do that. They can just announce the arrest and say no comment. And so the fact that they gave a press release is definitely not just a press release, but a press conference is definitely appreciated by me and I'm sure many other members of the media. And it's just nice to know that authorities realize how much people want information on this case and that they did provide what they did, right? I thought it was interesting. So Ashley's family actually spoke as well. So I'm going to try to get to that point in the press conference so that you guys can hear from Ashley's brother, Josh, and her sister, Brittany. So let me see if I can cue that up for you and bring it to you. All right, let's see.
Thank you all for being here. My name is Josh Okland. It's my sister, Brittany. Ashley was our older sister. Today is a day my family has thought about very often over the last 14 years. We have so many people to thank, a lot of them in this room. I'd like to start by thanking West Des Moines. The West Des Moines Police Department have done so much for us over the last 15 years. Tom Boyd, Brian Gruby, Jason Hatcher, all of you guys, you've been great to us. I can't thank you enough. All the other people that are part of this organization that helped on this case. I know there's so many of you that I don't know and haven't met, but thank you for your countless hours helping on Ashley's case. I'd like to thank the Attorney General, Brenna Bird, for setting up the cold case investigative unit, Steve Ponsetto for assembling a great team, Chad Lovick for being absolutely wonderful to us and a dedicated detective on Ashley's case. We have full confidence in Matt Schultz, Scott Brown, and their prosecution on this case. We look forward to working with them. I'd like to thank the media, several of you in here that I've spoke to over the last several years, keeping Ashley's story alive. And also, I want to thank all of our family, all of our friends, and the network of people around us. They have been there for us every step of the way. We can't thank you enough.
Good morning. I'd also like to thank you all for being here. That Friday afternoon when Ashley was taken from us seems so long ago. We had lost our hope in finding answers and having any justice for Ashley. It was really difficult to accept that the case had gone cold. A little less than a year ago, I met Chad and Steve, who were assigned to the case, and they promised me that they would give it their all every day. And they truly did. Alongside all of the hands in the West Des Moines Police Department, who over the years have been relentless in working on this, they've been given the chance to work on Ashley's case, dedicating their focus and time to it. So that was definitely a gift to us. Their dedication, commitment to Ashley, their drive and work ethic is a true gift from God that we feel fortunate to be touched by. I'd like to thank Brenna Bird for assembling this unit so families like us can experience what we did yesterday. I hope to see more families get to go through that. Chad and Steve for accepting your role on this unit and the challenge for seeking justice for families like us. All of the West Des Moines Police Department that have been involved in this case to assist with getting where we are today. The families of all of these investigators, the people who tried to help Ashley on April 8th and their families, to our family, friends, and Ashley's realty community who have supported us and let Ashley's legacy continue. When the West Des Moines detectives who worked in this case into their retirement, during their retirement, and never quitting on Ashley. The prosecutors and their teams for their commitment to this case and seeing it through. As Josh said, we have full confidence in their abilities to see this through. Again, I want to thank you for being here. We ask for privacy for our families as we deal with the days to come and even the years to come. I'd also ask for you to give the same privacy and respect to the suspects' families. They don't deserve to be hounded. And yeah, please give them respect. Thank you.
So we just heard from family members of Ashley Okland. We heard from her brother Josh and her sister Brittany, and they shared their heartfelt thanks to the West Des Moines Police Department for solving their sister's cold case murder. I think it was notable that they talked about how the media kept this case alive. We continued to report on this, whether it was podcasts like Justice Pending or, the local media there in Iowa definitely continued to cover Ashley's case. I saw the Des Moines Register. I saw the local affiliates would cover it, especially every anniversary, every April. They talked about Ashley's unsolved case. I also noted that Ashley's sister Brittany asked for privacy for her family and for the suspect's family. That's really thoughtful. I thought that was very kind of her, compassionate, to recognize that the suspect's family is going to be inundated with media attention as well. And, there's no playbook for this. No one ever expects that they're going to have this type of tragedy in their family, where a family member's murdered. Another, family has someone in their family accused of this violent murder. And it's pretty overwhelming for these families. And so I'm definitely going to honor that request and not reach out to the family at this time, since they've asked for privacy and the arrest is so new. It just happened. We'll stay tuned to find out more information about this case, when we can expect a trial for Kristin Ramsey for the murder of Ashley Okland. Of course, I'm going to be digging in online through all my resources and contacts to figure out what we can learn about Kristin Ramsey and why she might have had a motive to kill Ashley Okland. What is her connection? These questions will definitely be given a lot of attention in the coming days. So stay tuned for more reporting on this from Justice Pending. Thank you for joining me for this special update, breaking news episode in the Ashley Okland case. And I will see you next week with an all new episode. Justice Pending is recorded in Dallas, Texas for Rebel Studios. It's hosted by me, Claire Sanama, and Susan Passoni. Our theme music is Bending Truth, licensed at premiumbeat.com. We appreciate all listener feedback. Leave a review wherever you're listening right now, and we might read it on the air. Thanks for joining us.
This has been a Rogue Media Network production.